All right, guys. So let's say you want to export your individual sounds or the multi-tracks out of FL Studio into a program like Pro Tools or Logic Pro. This video, I'll show you exactly how to do every single step. Let's hop into it. So we have this simple trap drum. Okay, so a lot of people like to do their drums in FL Studio. The issue is that every sound is not going to our mixer. We only have the kick and the 808. Let's go to our channel rack and click here and make sure you're on all. Okay, and make sure all of these sounds are routed to the mixer if you're using them. You could hit Alt M to hide or reveal that number thing to the left. So now we're going to highlight the areas and the sounds that are not routed to our mixer, and we're going to hit Control L. This will send those two sounds to our mixer. Now the mixer is not just for editing and adding compression and EQ, it's also for when we go to export our sounds, it has to be on its own mixer channel in order for it to be exported as a multi-track. By default, FL Studio routes everything to the master. So even if I go to File, Export, we're going to do a WAV file in this case, or waveform. All right, we're just going to call it FL Studio Trap Tutorial. We're going to hit Save. I like to do full song. It depends on what you guys are exporting. Cut remainder, very important most of the time. WAV, 32-bit. And then we're going to do 512 point sync to keep the quality the same. High quality for all plugins. Just copy the settings on the screen. Now the main button here is the split mixer tracks. Okay, so this will split individual sounds into their own file. And again, by default, if you don't route anything to its own individual mixer channel, it will be sent to the master, and it'll just be basically grouped into the master, which will defeat the purpose because you can't solo that sound by itself. So anyway, click this split mixer tracks, hit OK, or hit start. And now this will go to our desktop and it will show the individual files. So if we go to our desktop, we should see the new files created. Now this will be named by whatever we had it saved as. So we'll say the name of the file that we saved it as, Trap Drum Tutorial, and then underscore the mixer name. Okay, so it gives you a couple files. One is the master. This is the kind of default all in one file. Then you got the individual sounds like the kick. Okay, so we can take the tempo. So this is 140 BPM. We can go inside of Logic Pro, for example, type in 140 and just grab the sounds and just drag them in. Now the main thing, do not drag the master in unless you need it, because it will basically just double the volume. So let's create new tracks. Okay, now I can use Logic stuff to create. So now you can produce in Logic. Let's do the same thing, but in Pro Tools. All right, now we have the option to create a project in Pro Tools. So I'm just going to name it just whatever. And you guys can save it to, wherever you guys want to save your projects. I'm just going to save it to a project folder. We don't need to get specific about where this is going to be stored. Just trying to create a folder. Okay, so once we have all this, you want to make sure the sample rate is the same. If you import something that's at 44.1K, but you have this set to 48K, it will sound weird. Okay, so just make sure this number is the same as your other system. So in FL Studio, let me check those settings. In FL Studio, to check the sample rate you guys exported at, go to Options, Audio Settings, and right here is the sample rate. Mine was set to 48K. So just double check to make sure that is the same exact number. Okay, so here we have 48K wave, 32-bit, and interleaved. All right, we're going to create a new session, and let's name it New Import. Okay, so we're going to create a new session. Now in Pro Tools, it should load up the arrangement window. Now we have Pro Tools open. Let's make this full screen. We're going to go to File and then Import, because right now we have 0 tracks. Nothing's happening right now. There's not even a click track. So let's go to File, then let's go to Import. We're going to do Audio. Now you have to go back to wherever you stored your audio files. So you can, if you don't see anything, click Hide Options, and you can actually see the files. So let's highlight, I think it was this through here. These are the files. And then let's hit Add. So we're going to add to the import. So these are just files. We're going to add all. All right. And then we're going to make sure everything is the same. Boom. Now, if it's a different sample rate, I think they ask you, do you want to convert the sample rate over? You would do that at this time. Let's hit open. And we're going to create new tracks per each audio. Okay. So new track. All right. Now, by default, it looks like it already figured out it's a stereo track. Then you just hit spacebar. Now, the tempo here in Pro Tools is up here. We're going to click here. I think it was 140 was our BPM. So if you guys want to click track, for example, I think you go to track, create click track. And that way you can double check to make sure the tempo lines up. All right, now if you wanted to do a vocal, you would just, add your, I think it's what, Command Shift N. And we're going to do a mono track for your microphone, audio track. And let's call this mic. All right, and then you got to figure out, you want to monitor the input. And we're going to go over here and you have to figure out your audio interfaces input. I think mine, man, there's so many on mine. I forgot exactly which one mine is. Let me find it. All right. So my mic won't show up for whatever reason. I probably have to refresh Pro Tools. So that is how you import multi-tracks right into Pro Tools. So if you guys want more Pro Tools tutorials, just let me know and I'll just explore Pro Tools a little bit more. Thank you guys for watching. It's Game from busyworksbeats.com. Go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio if you want to learn more about FL Studio. Peace out, guys.